Alexey Muraviev is Associate Professor of National Security and Strategic Studies at Curtin University in Perth, Australia, and joins us now live to discuss NATO and the issues that go along with it. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Alexey. Well, Ukraine, you would suspect, is top of the agenda here. An historic package is what we understand will be agreed. Do you think it'll be enough for Ukraine?
No, I don't think it will be enough for Ukraine because Ukraine has been getting significant injections in terms of financial support, in terms of direct military supplies over the past 3 years. And that's certainly been increasing rather than decreasing. So in a sense, we cannot really determine that the next package would be a groundbreaker or will be a game changer for the Ukrainians. I think that the key sticking point at the summit at this Jubilee Summit is how to pave way for Ukraine to join NATO if under any circumstances Ukraine will end up being part of NATO, because currently I cannot see any prospects for Ukraine being promised a clear-cut pathway to its membership.
Well, and indeed that membership can only begin once the war is over. No sign of that happening at the moment. But certainly leaders will appear to try and future-proof their support for Ukraine. Do you think this is mainly with Donald Trump in mind and a potential change in the White House in November?
Well, look, I mean, I identify two issues here. One is definitely possible change in the White House. And as your earlier report suggests, Trump has been very open and very clear and very loud about the need for Europe to step in and pay the bill. And I think this will continue to be part of Trump's agenda should he return back to the White House, because he is no longer willing to provide Europe with the U.S. extended deterrence and U.S. security umbrella, whilst the Europeans are not really chipping in and paying what they're supposed to pay under the alliance framework. But there is also a bigger and longer term question, and I think that would be another important element of this summit, is the Indo-Pacific vector, balancing against China, which is far more enduring and long-lasting for the United States. That would be the primary concern for the Americans in the longer haul than the war in Ukraine. And the fact that this summit will see presence of Republic of Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand suggests that gradually alliance is looking over the horizon, and that horizon is not lies in Eastern Europe, it lies on the battle lines of Ukraine, but it actually lies in the Pacific, in my part of the world. So it would be quite interesting to see how NATO's future thinking and future strategizing would evolve, which obviously takes it beyond traditional sphere of influence or sphere of responsibility, was largely about European security and defense.
Alexey, good to have you today. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for your analysis. Alexey Muraviev there joining us live from Australia.